Hi everybody, this is Velez, and my passion is to give you tools for success in leadership and in ministry. I want to talk to you about finding your voice today. Sometimes we feel like we are awakening, or we are being kind of slowly pacing and cruising through life, and that we are or sometimes we feel like we are in a fog of some sorts, and we cannot find a good way of express ourselves, like a good way of like saying or becoming who God wants us to become. And there are 4 keys that I want to give you on finding your voice and releasing that sound and that expression that you need to release when you are growing and trying to figure out these things. Because sometimes we are called, or maybe perhaps you have been called for a long time, you've been in a ministry for some time, and you are going through a season of like you feel like you are getting out of a difficult time, or a season on life that you were not clear in certain areas. And we all go through these things in which there are seasons that are harder. There are some seasons that are very productive, and there are other seasons that are a little bit of a struggle. And then we learn something about it, we turn it around, and we move forward. But my first key is help yourself first. Every time that you are confused about something, or every time that you have questions about how to move forward, there's an opportunity to grow, and there's an opportunity to help yourself first. You cannot help someone if you haven't helped yourself first. So focus on yourself first. This is a key for leadership in everything that you do, is not to help others first. It's first you, because as you get transformed by the Word of God, you are helping yourself grow, and as you grow, then you have the tools to help others grow. You cannot study the Bible or do things to bring a word, or do something in ministry, if you are not doing those things first to nurture yourself, to grow yourself, to expand your vision, or who you are, giving yourself the tools that you need to bring others along the way. You have to become an expert in something, and that expertise will bring the ability for you to help others along the way. But you first have to help yourself, work on yourself, lead yourself first. If you cannot lead yourself, or you cannot be a leader for yourself, then you won't be able to lead others. You need to lead by example, and the first thing that you have to do is here. You are your first person. You are your first fan. You are your first person that needs help from you yourself. So focus first on yourself. Okay, number 2, define why are you doing what you're doing. This is something that you need to be clear, and at seasons and at points in time, it needs to become clear to you. And as you progress in ministry and in life, you have to go back to this question and work it again, because as you progress and you move forward, as you expand, your purpose and your why might change a little. Like, for example, if you are single and then you get married, then your why will shift, because then now your purpose is not only focused on yourself or what you were doing, but now you have to focus on being a wife. And if you become or a husband, or if you become a mother, now your focus has to there's a purpose that is within your purpose and within your calling of being a mother or a father, or then as you progress in these things, if now you are in a season of life that you are now a grandmother or a grandfather, then it's a different season in your life, so your purpose and your focus might have shifted a little. Same way in business, same way in your ministry, same way in your calling. What season are you are right now, and define the why, because you need to purposely awaken to what you are doing in that season and why are you doing it. So you can bring, once you have defined the why and your purpose of why you are doing certain things, or why you are why you are the type of mother that you are, why you rule your house the way you are doing it, why you are in ministry, why you are in business. Once you define that, then you can bring the strategies for your what to the table. Then what are you going to be doing? Okay, so number 3, define your what. Based on what you have said that you're gonna be doing, then you have to define what you're bringing to the table. What is your actions? What are the steps that you're taking? What are your core values? What are the things that you are going to be working or doing to fulfill that why that you have set for yourself? Okay, and that purpose that you have set for yourself. And number 4, take action. If you don't take action and you don't move forward, and you will not have the ability to step out, start practicing, start developing those ideas, and start learning from your mistakes. We all step out, and like a baby, when you step out, the baby start to crawl, and the next thing that he does is starts to stand up. The very first steps that this baby takes when it's finally standing up are not steps that are secure. They're not steps that are with grace, full of grace, and most likely the baby will fall. But the beauty about learning how to walk is that there goes again the baby. Stand up, or we'll try and try again until finally it will start walking with a little bit of help from mom and dad, and then it will start walking by himself, and then it will start running, and then it will start doing other things. So the same way we step out and we learn and we fall and we learn and they fall as babies learning to walk, in everything we do, we have to start walking. We have to start taking action. We have to learn from our mistakes. We have to give ourselves the grace and the opportunity to do it, and to look back and say, well, I think I nailed it here, but I think I didn't nail it here. And ask yourself the question, how can I fix this? How can I make it better? How can I learn from this mistake? How can I learn from this experience? And sometimes we do things and we think that we spent 5, 6 hours doing something, and we say, well, that was wasted time, I didn't accomplish anything. But the reality is that even if it's unbeknownst to you, you are putting the foundations for something. It might feel like nothing is happening, and it might feel like a failure at that point in time, but you will look back at some point in your life and you'll say, wow, all those 5 hours, or those hours that maybe for me at those points were nothing, and I wasn't accomplishing something, they built up over time and gave me enough experience to be able to do this other thing that I needed to do faster, just because I failed so many times. Like, and I'm just gonna give you a story to close. I mean, years ago, when websites were not that popular, I started blogging. Maybe in 2011, everyone, started joining the bandwagon of the websites, but there was not that many opportunities for websites that were already get you started up and running. You needed a developer, and you needed to develop your own website and everything. And I spent lots of time trying to develop my website. And I mean, I was proud of it, but it was, pretty decent website. But I wanted it to look so professional, and I started playing and tweaking and spending hours and hours and hours on this website, and I ended up losing my website and my blogs, my beautiful blogs, 3 times at different points in time. My last one, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago that I lost the website again with all my blogs, and for a long time I decided I'm not gonna do anything, and I just created like a very simple a page with 3 or 4 graphics, and that was it. And I left that. I just don't want to touch it. In the meantime, I landed projects to help people, to do other websites, to help at work, to help some other people with the back end of their websites. It was a minor role, but I had a taste of that, and I came back to it the other day, and in a moment, like in several hours, I was able to build something much better with the same tools I had the last time I lost my blog. And I felt really proud of myself, and I started meditating about that, and I came to the conclusion that if I wouldn't have failed those 3 times, I maybe probably will fail a little bit more, because websites are complicated. But if I haven't failed or invested all that time when I was thinking that I was doing things for other people, but I wasn't being able to do them for myself, and I was helping other people to build their ministries or their websites or their business, and I wasn't able to do my own. And at points I kind of felt frustrated, but I built and I continued doing what I needed to do, and what life brought to me, and in obedience and in faithfulness of the things that I needed to do. And I came back to this, and I was like, wow, I nailed it in less than 5 hours. But I nailed it because I persisted, I progressed, I failed a lot, I gained experience, I had the opportunity to work with other people. Now I'm able to do something pretty much decent. Check out my website, www.roblesdejusticia.org. I will put it in the link for you, but it's kind of like I feel pretty proud of it. But it's experience. And why I'm bringing this up, because you need to understand that there are things that are not going to happen right away, and there's gonna be failures, and there are gonna be things that you're gonna look at it and you're not gonna be totally content about it, and you might be a little frustrated on the way it went, or you might gonna be frustrated about the way you said something, or you spoke, or you preach, or you did specific things. But things come through practice and experience. That's one of the reasons that I am a very big believer that you need to find a place where you can have experiences, that people will give you opportunities. And if someone doesn't give you an opportunity, you give an opportunity yourself. With Facebook and with all these platforms, you can release your voice out there. I've been lucky enough to be in a place that in a way they give me opportunities, but I'm not the pastor and I am not preaching every Sunday, and my opportunities as an itinerant minister come and go. So I decided to create a platform for myself, because I am giving myself the opportunity to fail, to learn, to get experience, because I want to be faithful in what the Lord has given me, to position myself into a place that I can fulfill my calling. And it's important for me to release my voice. So it is important for you to awaken. It is important for you to figure out what's your purpose, to figure out what you should be doing to awaken your voice and release to your voice in this season. It is important for you to take action, because you take action today and you start building today your future. You start positioning yourself today. Don't wait anymore. Awaken, release your voice, start creating the ability, or start creating an opportunity for yourself. Use the platforms, create a podcast, create a Facebook Live, create something that will give you an opportunity to express yourself, to express your creativity, to bring something to the table for the people, for those that have called you, for those that will need you, because God has called you. God bless you. See you next time.